What's happening, guys? So I'm back with another video again. Back-to-back videos, and I didn't even make my match preview of tomorrow's Champions League game. We're back with another video. Again! And yeah, it's actually another reaction as well. Again! But anyways, we're reacting to Football Chat Uncensored. He did a video on Lee Gunner. It's only a 5-minute video, a message to Lee Gunner. He's basically questioning the authenticity of Lee Gunner being an Arsenal fan, which I think is ironic coming from fans who defend Arteta. I think it's wild. Now, I listened to Lee Gunner reacting to this on his 9-hour stream. I haven't listened to the whole 9-hour stream. I only listened to a bit of it. But yeah, I just thought, yeah, this is wild. So I might as well just give my 2 pence in, because the way I see it, those who criticize the Arteta outers, yeah, it doesn't matter if you're directly talking to me or not. I'm one of those. So if you're talking to one Arteta outer, you're basically talking to all of us, basically, because we're pretty much all seeing the same hymn sheet, depending on how hardcore you are, yeah. But this guy's too damn old to be an Arteta in. Yeah, he's too damn old for this. That's what made me want to do this video. I thought to myself, how can you be that old? Yeah, and I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. Yeah, but let's just be real right now. How can you be that old and you are Arteta in? It does not.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the f you think you is?
Anyways, you know, let's talk about this. I'm sick of them sweatsuits and them corny hats. Let's talk about it. Right, let's have a listen.
Guys, I never say anything bad about another social media platform. It's not right. And I keep getting people, but you believe I've only got a small little platform myself, but people keep saying to me at the stadium, asking, you listen to this Lee Gunner chap, just listen to him, you know, he's dreadful. And I don't want to say anything bad about him. And but in the end, I've listened, but something is scratching me. I want to say something to you, Lee. A lot of your facts are right, okay? And, you know, they are. You're very, you know, factually, you know, some of what you say is right. Some of your opinions are right. But honestly, I think 2 things I want to point out to you. One, I've been a fan since I was a kid, born and bred there. You know, my granddad. So don't say I'm not a fan, okay?
Now, you've been a fan since you were a kid, yeah? And this guy, all you have to do is look at his, for a start, look at his hair. Yeah, you know this person's somebody of age. Again, I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. He doesn't even look old in the face. And I think, yeah, he said he's been going since, I think from what I heard from the stream reaction, since what, the late 50s. So this guy is really up there in age. And you're gonna question Lee Gunner and whoever else. You're gonna be Arteta in. You're going to be peddling that nonsense at your big age, fam. Nah, come on.
Stop it. Get some help.
When you're a fan, you go through thick and thin, okay? And I accept, sometimes I'm negative about maybe Arteta's substitutions, his choices. I think they're not playing exciting football at the moment.
So you've seen George Graham and previous man and all that. You've seen the dire decade of what, the 60s. You've seen the double in 71 and everything. You've seen what the FA Cup winning in 1978 came from 2-0 down, I believe. Arsenal came from 2-0 down in the FA Cup final in 78. I could be wrong. I'm only saying it off the top of my head. Yeah, you've seen all that shit. You've seen us lose FA Cup finals to West Ham. You've seen all that shit. You've seen us win our only 2 EFL Cups. You've seen us win our only 2 European trophies. And you're this far. Wow. And I even got onto what Arsene Wenger did and the Invincibles and the doubles and everything like that. You've seen all of it. Nah, this, you have to be trolling right now. You have
Stop
to.
it. Get some help.
Nah, sorry. Even when I'm deep in it now, it's actually hitting me right now. There's no way Jose Enrique can. Nah. At this point, it should be illegal to be that old and be Arteta in at this point. I mean, you should have his season ticket revoked or some shit. That is diabolical work. But let's listen to him anyway.
Accept that. And I'll say it. But everything you say is negative. They're crap, they're this, they're that. And a point that you made, and I want to point out something to you so you can think about it. 2 points, 2 things you said. Not one. I want to say one. You said in the last 4 years or 5 years of Wenger, he won more than Arteta's won in the 4 or 5 years that he's been there. Well, that points out something about you.
But wait, but that's true though. Hang on, let's go back.
He won more than in the last 4 years or 5 years of Wenger. He won more than Arteta's won in the 4 or 5 years that he's been there. Well, that points out something about you. Okay, I'll tell you.
No, this is showing more about you if you're trying to dispute that.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Who the fuck is this?
Come on now. Let's listen.
What it points out is that also in the same pod you said, I've been a fan since 1987. They won 17 trophies, one every single year. Well, that on nearly every other year, whatever. So put those 2 things together and then think about it, mate. Those last 5 years of Wenger, forget he might have won an FA Cup here and there and a League Cup, whatever. And
What?
Never won the FA Cup.
Wenger, forget he might have won an FA Cup here and there and a League Cup, whatever.
He never won an EFL Cup. I mean, all right, let's just go with, you just threw that in there because let's just go with that.
And Arteta's only won one FA Cup. Those last 4, I'm an Arsenal fan. My heart bleeds when we lose. Okay, I hurt.
I mean, you know what I say about when people say they're Arsenal fans but they support Arteta.
Accusations! These are not accusations. This is false accusations. And
I mean,
when Arsene Wenger was there that last 5 seasons, it's the nearest I came to giving my season ticket up. But I'm a fan. I'm an Arsenal boy, born bred, knowing that Wenger one day will no longer be there because these people are mercenaries. They get paid to come and do a job in the end. However,
so how do you go from nearly giving up your season ticket because of the last few years of Wenger to you being where you are right now? How does that work out, being the age, whatever age you are? How does that work out? I'm struggling. I need help. I need help right now, right? I need help to understand.
Just help me to understand.
I'm struggling.
much they may fall in love with it, they're mercenaries. No way I'm going to give my ticket up. It was the worst period of me supporting Arsenal since the late 1950s, mate. The worst. And I'm telling you now.
Wait, so hang on a minute. Now, because the 60s wasn't friendly to Arsenal at all. Yeah. If I've got my history right, the 60s wasn't nice to Arsenal. He's talking about the late 50s, so that's going into 60s. He's talking about the last few years of Wenger was the worst. And you've been around for hang on a minute. Let's just I'm gonna have to go back to this. I'm gonna have to look at the honors. I need to get everything right. I need to get everything right. Yeah, I need to get everything right. Yeah. No league title in the 60s. Yeah. No FA Cup in the 60s. Yeah. No EFL Cup yet. Not even a Community Shield in the 60s. Yeah. You know what I mean? We didn't do anything in the 60s, but you have seen, if you want to go by the late 50s, so you've seen the double in 71, Anfield 89, the 1991 team, 98, 02, 04, FA Cups. You've seen the double in 71. You've seen it in 79. 79, yeah, came from 2-0 down against Arsenal Man United. Then you've seen 93, that was a cup double. 98, 2002, 2003, 2005, 14, 15, 16, 20. EFL Cup 87 and 93. You've seen a whole League Cup triumphs. Yeah? Football League Century Trophy in 1988. Cup Winners' Cup 94. Intercity's Players' Cup 1970. We literally started the 1970s with trophies. A European trophy and then a double the season after. You've seen that. Yeah? Man can actually turn around and say,
I've seen him do it.
Legitimately, going by what he said. But Wenger's last few years of the FA Cup in 2014, retaining it in 2015, and then the FA Cup in 2017. That period was your worst since. Well, hold on. Let me just.
The late 19, the worst period of ever of me supporting Arsenal since the late 1950s, mate.
Since the late 1950s, Wenger's last few years was his worst out of everything that you've seen. Yeah. So, what about the period of after we won the FA Cup in 1979? We didn't win anything till 1987. What about that period? Was that period bad? I mean, what about the period from 1971 to 1979? Was that period bad? You know what I mean? I mean, he's come. Where were we finishing in the table in them times? Anyway, let's just go back.
The worst. They're mercenaries. They get paid to come and do a job in the end. However much they may fall in love with it, they're mercenaries. No way I'm going to give my ticket up. It was the worst period of ever of me supporting Arsenal since the late 1950s, mate. The worst. And I'm telling you now.
But this is better, though. But this period right now is better. You've seen in your lifetime. You would have seen Spurs win a couple of Europa Leagues. The last before last season, the last one in '84. Yeah, you were around when Spurs last won their league title. Yeah, so you've seen that huge gap of Spurs not even winning the league title again. You've seen all that shit. But last season, we saw Crystal Palace end their trophy draw. Newcastle do it. Liverpool win another league title, and Spurs and Chelsea winning European Cups. But the last few period under Wenger was the worst since the late 50s. But what about this period then? Because this period right now is worse than Wenger's last few years, my friend. This is wild to me. This is absolutely wild.
Now, those 60s were awful years. Never winning anything, mud, rain, wet, playing crap football.
A whole decade. And you're comparing Wenger's last few years with that. This, right now, should top Wenger's last few years already. This is wild.
I've seen him do it.
Okay. Arteta, however, in his last 5 years has changed the atmosphere. The toxicity in that stadium with Arsene Wenger in those last 4 years was awful. Fun.
You just couldn't make this up, could you?
Stop it. Get some help.
So he started this off by saying about how Lee Gunnar said that Wenger's last 4 or 5 years he won more than what Arteta has, and his rebuttal to that is that the toxicity is no longer there now because it was there under Wenger. The fuck's that got to do with winning stuff at this point? Because with you trying to debunk the whole thing of Wenger's won more in his last 5 years than what Arteta has in his first 6 years here, a rebuttal to that would be you trying to claim, oh no, that's false. Arteta did all this. Here's what he did. You're not doing that. You just turn around saying that Vibes FC. I mean, honestly, guys, I'm struggling.
Just help me to understand.
I remember going to see Arsenal, you know, in the FA Cup final, being 2-0 down, saying to my son, oh my God, at least Arsene Wenger's going now. That was it. I was saying, at least he's going to go. He's got.
That's where you were at. You saw the silver lining in 2014 to being 2-0 down as well. At least Arsene Wenger's going. You saw the silver lining. And you're now out here talking about fans being negative. Boy, I mean, fam. You were probably almost on this.
Do you know what? I don't mind if we lose. It is what it is. I want us to lose.
He was probably around about that level. Fam.
Let's stop this shit.
I go off, and then we won. And of course, I'm joyous for Arsenal. And as we went home, I turned around to my son and said, the only thing is that Wenger's going to stay on because of this.
Christ. That's what man
Stop
said.
it. Get some help.
So despite you saw Arsenal come from 2-0 down, which you've seen that more than once in your lifetime, by the way, in the cup final, you still looked at your son and said to him, but Arsene Wenger's going to stay though. And somehow at your big age now, you in 2026, you're now talking about vibes. Man's talking about vibes now.
I beg your pardon?
I'm telling you, I have suspicions about these so-called Arsenal fans who are Arteta fans.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the f you think you is?
Okay, that's how bad it was at Arsenal, and the fans were divided. They were fighting each other. Arteta may not have won as much in his 5-year tenure as Wenger had in his last 4 or 5 years, but what he has done is brought the fan base together. We love it. We're excited. We support everything. Okay, yeah, we find negativities as life. We're human beings, but honestly, the excitement as fans, and we push and we fight with the players. He's brought that stadium to life. He's given us a positivity about the club again.
You cannot be this dense. I'm sorry.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the f you think you is?
So I want you guys to understand, yeah. Let me just, you know, and in fact, no, I can't be asked doing that. So I've got it on here anyway, yeah. I've got our honours right in front of my face right now, yeah, listening to this guy speak. He said he's been going since what, the late 50s. Okay. So he went through, I don't know how old he was when he started going, but he went through a whole decade of not seeing Arsenal do anything. Spurs won the double in 61 and everything. Yeah. He went through all that. Yeah. And then by the time 1970 came around, things changed. Won the Intercities Flares Cup, which is now what's the Europa League now. That's technically replaced. He's seen that in 1970. He saw us win the league title and the FA Cup double in 1971. He saw us win the FA Cup in 79. That was his 70s, his 1970s. Yeah. Then 1980s, he saw the EFL Cup in 87. He saw the Football League Centenary Trophy in 88. Yeah. He saw Anfield 89. He saw the league title in 91. He saw the EFL Cup and FA Cup double in 93. The UEFA Cup Winners' Cup, which was the equivalent of the Europa League at that time, in 94. Yeah, so he saw us win essentially the Europa League in 1994, essentially, in terms of, you know, he saw that. Yeah, he can actively turn around and say,
I've seen him do it.
He saw the double in 98. Saw the double in 2002. Saw the FA Cup 2003. Saw the Invincibles in 2004. Saw the FA Cup in 2005. Yeah. Then there was a 9-year trophy drought until we won the FA Cup in 2014. And that's when he was at a point where this is just so bad. Despite we won the FA Cup, this is so bad. We retained it the year after in 2015. It was still so bad. Won the FA Cup again in 2017. It was still so bad. Arteta comes in 2019, wins the FA Cup in 2020. Now man's talking about vibes. You cannot make this up. And these are Arsenal fans, by the way.
You don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious.
You're too damn old for this. Respectfully, you're too damn old for this now. You can't make it this fine life watching Arsenal all these years to be he's brought vibes back now, man. More positivity. You can't. You just can't do this.
Where Wenger soaked it from us those last 4 or 5 years. So, mate, are you a true Arsenal fan?
And I can understand why Lee Gunnar was so vexed when he watched this, and he would have been there, sat there.
Who the fuck is this asshole?
You know what I mean? He's talking to other fans who actually give a shit about this club and wanting to put silverware on the table. Are you true fans? Insane.
You feel that blood? Do you feel it? Or are you just a trophy hunter, mate? Because that's how you come across. And
are you just a trophy hunter? Basically, in other words, right? Imagine saying to somebody, do you actually like working at this job, mate? Or do you just care about being paid $2,000 a week, mate? You know what I mean? You just chasing money, mate. That is one of the most retarded things I've heard in a while on football content.
Just help me to understand.
Are you just a trophy hunter?
Hey, you ain't going too goddamn far now.
You could not make this up. One more time.
So, mate, are you a true Arsenal fan? Do you feel that blood? Do you feel it? Or are you just a trophy hunter, mate?
You shut
because
up!
That's how you come across. And I don't want to be negative in what you say, because what you...
Are you just a trophy hunter? He went through the 60s. He said he's been going to Arsenal games since the late 50s or whatever. Yeah, I'm just going to assume he was a little kid or something. Yeah, at that point. Yeah. So you went through the whole 60s. You experienced that, the whole of the 1960s. Yeah, you saw nothing from Arsenal, and you said it yourself, rain and everything. And you've got this far talking about Lee Gunnar, you just a trophy hunter, mate. You've seen worse than what we've all. Most of the content creators you are looking at online, the majority of them haven't seen the 60s like that. Yeah, well, we're alive to, we were around in the 60s before our time. And you're questioning a fan that wants to see us win by responding to it in a way of, are you just a trophy hunter? maybe the Arsenal in the 1960s, you experiencing that, maybe that's done something mentally to the point where trophies don't really matter that much to you because it's just about vibes. But wow, wait, hold on, let me have a look again. Before then, 1953, we won the title and then didn't win anything till 1970. So 13-year trophy draw. No, 17 years. Sorry. 17-year trophy draw. We went 17 years without a trophy, like Spurs did recently, actually. And then they ended it with a European trophy. 17 years. So you could have peeled off and supported anybody else that was winning around about that period if you wanted to, because Arsenal were doing nothing in the 60s. Then the 1970 came around, and then, you know, a European trophy, a league title and cup double. Then you had to wait for the rest of that decade to then get the FA Cup in 79. You saw all that, and this is where you are today. This is wild to me. This is absolutely wild.
You say some of it I actually accept and might agree with. But, and I understand you do this for money. This is your business. You sensationalise. But actually look at what you're saying and what you're doing. Don't, if we win the league or the FA Cup and we go to the town hall, please don't be there.
No. See, this is that shit I don't like to hear these content creators do, yeah? This is what I don't like.
Stop it. Get some help.
This is what I don't like when they try and say, well, don't come to town hall then if we win trophies. Now, y'all didn't give a shit about trophies to begin with when you start peddling that you were Arteta in, yeah? You didn't care if he did it or not. You didn't care. You would have defended him if he didn't win the trophies. We've been saying we want to win them. You lot gaslight and say, we want to win them, mate. We want to win trophies. Of course we do. We're Arsenal fans. But then you will turn around and say, oh, no. But Arteta's good enough, mate. There's nobody else can do it. And then you have the audacity to turn around and say, well, if you finally win a trophy, mate, don't be there. Nah, you have to get fucked with that. You get fucked. We were crying for these trophies more than what you were. You were just crying for Arteta to do it. What are we talking about? Y'all are just crying for Arteta to win the trophies. We just want the trophies. Honestly, this guy allegedly has been around since the late 50s, you know.
You don't find that suspicious?
Talking like this. At this point, how much do you believe it?
You don't find that suspicious?
Been going since the late 50s, you know. He's seen it all. You know what I mean? Barring, you know, the three-peat in the 1930s and all that stuff. But, you know what I mean? When you look at, if he's been going since the late 50s, you know, he's virtually seen it all. He saw Arsenal win the first European trophy in their history. He was around long enough to see Arsenal win the double in 71. He was around long enough to see Arsenal win their first EFL Cup. You know what I mean? So when I say he's seen it all, like, that's what I mean. He's seen all flavors of trophies that Arsenal could win. He's seen it all. He's seen us win European trophy. He's seen us win all the domestic trophies. I mean, and this is where he is. This is where he is.
Stop it. Get some help.
Because how can you be so negative and then come and just want the glory?
Wow.
You've got to take both. That's what life throws up at you. A real fan takes the lot. And Arteta is giving us our hearts back. Okay? Where Wenger actually was ripping it out of us the last 4 or 5 years.
Wenger ripped it out in the last 4 or 5 years. We at least saw FA Cups. I mean, I know we wanted him gone because, you know, it weren't good enough for him being the manager that won us the doubles, back-to-back FA Cups. Invincibles, and then you just go to, I can only win your FA Cups, and I'm getting kicked out of the Champions League last 16 every single year. I'm not even trying in the EFL Cup no more. You know what I mean? You prefer this? Wow. Wow, these so-called Arsenal fans.
You don't find that suspicious?
I don't dislike Wenger, did brilliantly. But talk. Please start talking a little bit as a fan. A love for the club. Okay? Surely you're not just a trophy hunter, are you? Football Chat and Censored Reno talking.
This guy smiles, honestly. This is insane. What we just went through is insane. You're too damn old, yeah, to be talking like this. You've seen it all. Literally seen it all. And he has the audacity to question. Oh my days. Anyways, I'm done with this reaction. I'll be back tomorrow night with a match preview of our game against Carrier Bat, or whatever the frig they're called. A team that we're going to obliterate at home in the Champions League in the last Champions League phase, because that's just what we do. Yeah. You know, we performed in a shambles in the Premier League. We're going to bounce back, you know, play against a team that can't afford to do what others did. And they're just going to suffer for even trying. And then it's back to the Premier League action against Leeds United, where it's horrible football again. But yeah, this old man that I've reacted to, he's seen it all, but it was the Wenger stages where it was the worst since, you know, the 17-year trophy drought he was witnessing from 1953 to, he said late 50s. So let's just go with 10, 12 years. Yeah. 13 years. Well, he could have easily just fucked off and supported another club. He could have done that. He chose not to. You know what I mean? But Wenger winning FA Cups, that was the worst it's been since the 60s. Wow. Wow.
I've seen him do it.
Anyways, guys, like the video, share the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, follow all the socials, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
And if anyone wants to have a come at me,
Meet me in the car park, bro. Meet me in the car park.
because I'm a black belt in karate.
Stop the cap.
Come and have a pop.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.